Hey everyone, welcome back into Family Porties. Thanks for tuning in again. Hanging out with Cookie and Rio's litter. This is Rio's first litter here at Family Porties. Super excited on how they're coming along. It's been amazing seeing these guys come along. Obviously, as you guys know, they grow so quickly. It's crazy how fast they grow, how much they develop in a short amount of time. And we're already at name day, already at litter picks, and time's flown. So August has come and gone, and September is coming to a close. So these guys were born on August 9th. They'll be ready to go home here in about 3 weeks. So if anyone has any questions about take-home dates, about pickups, about scheduling transportation, let me know. Feel free to reach out. We'll be reaching out in the meantime to get these litter picks in as well. So starting with pick number 1, we'll work our way down, go through the list, and then of course if anyone has any questions based on this YouTube video, feel free to reach out to me and I'm more than happy to help you guys out. So today we're going to talk about each and every puppy here in the litter, starting off with the females, ladies first, and we're going to start with Cleo here. So Cleo is the only black and white solid. So she's a black and white, and she doesn't have any salt and pepper. If you guys know Cookie, you know she has that black and white salt and pepper. So definitely a little bit interesting not seeing any salt and pepper with her. But most of the puppies do have that salt and pepper, and we'll get into that later. But for her, she's more of that 50-50 split with black and white, maybe a little bit more black compared to the white, and just a beautiful puppy overall. And for her personality, she's like the most laid back, most chilled out as far as the girls, just a little bit more leaning towards that laid back and the kind of easygoing side of things. So again, that's Cleo to start things off. Beautiful girl. She's also the biggest in the litter as far as the girls are concerned. She's got a little bit more girth to her. She's a little bit heavier, maybe a little bit blockier. So very sweet girl. Again, that's Cleo. And we'll keep on rolling here. It's hard to keep everyone's names straight. Hi. Yeah. It's hard to keep everyone's names straight. We just did names, and so we're going through and trying to figure out who's who here through the video. So we're gonna keep rolling here. We got Callie here. Next up, she's a chocolate and white with that salt and pepper. So as we talked about earlier, Miss Cleo is one of the only ones without salt and pepper that has more white. So, but we do have a little bit of salt and pepper rolling here. Hi. There on the hind paws, you'll see a little bit of salt and pepper, in the front a little bit too. And then that tuxedo will be a nice salt and pepper coming through. And I'll show you, we have Miss Cinnamon up front here, and I'll show you she kind of shows it off a little bit more at this age. So we'll kind of show that a little bit later on. As far as personality, super outgoing, attentive personality. She wants to know what's going on around her. She's always checking things out. You can kind of see her tail's up high, her head's up high. She's trying to figure out what's cracking, and just a beautiful girl. So a black and white salt and pepper. I guess it's more, I guess you could say cinnamon and pepper, or I guess cinnamon and white, cinnamon and sugar. Thanks, Krista. But a beautiful, beautiful combination here. Rio, if you guys haven't checked out Rio, he is going to be replacing Porter, who's going into retirement. So this is the first go around, but he is a chocolate and white, absolutely stunning guy. Very excited for the program, just for him to be a part of it, and really, he's amazing. So maybe we'll do a YouTube video on him here in the next couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. But going through, talking about each one, we got a couple puppies taking a nap up front here, and this really, I mean, they're just hanging out. They're enjoying the beautiful weather we've been having here, nice and cool. Puppies love the cool weather, and just the grass is a little bit cooler, so they'll always enjoy that. But moving on, we got Cupcake here. Cupcake is a salt and pepper black and white. She does have a little bit more white compared to black. Now, if you're looking at Cookie and comparing, most of her will be more of that kind of what her chest is. So almost that grayish look. It's very unique. I know salt and pepper is something that's not very normal with Porties in general. I know black and white was kind of the first thing that came along, and then chocolate came along, and then we had salt and pepper kind of come along as well. Now we're seeing some chocolate, cinnamon and sugar, I guess we'll call it. But just a beautiful look. So I'm assuming some of those families that are on that list were looking specifically for salt and pepper. This right here is a great example of that. Although, I mean, it's black and white, but salt and pepper with that, so not the chocolate and white. But very, very sweet girl. She's a little bit more chill, not quite on Cleo's level. Cleo's snuggled up back here, but definitely a little bit more on that easygoing side. Now, this breed is a little bit more energetic, so keep that in mind. It's all in the frame of the litter, not necessarily, you can't really expect a couch potato out of these guys. So, but definitely a little bit more chill, a little bit more easygoing, kind of soft-spoken, but she still loves her people. She's very interactive. She's just a little bit, not quite as overbearing as some puppies can be. So, very sweet girl. Again, that's Cupcake. We'll go straight to Cinnamon here since we've been talking about salt and peppers. What's up, girly? Are you gonna wander off back there? But Cinnamon here, she is that cinnamon and sugar, and just a beautiful girl. Honestly, the chocolate and white with kind of the pattern coming through is something I've rarely seen. You'll see it every now and then. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to come by, I guess. But beautiful girl. She's got that nice dark chocolate coming through, and you got the salt and pepper or cinnamon and sugar kind of coming through, and that'll stay kind of. It'll have a kind of a brownish tint mixed in with that white, and just a beautiful coloration. Now she is right in the middle of the pack. She's not the most outgoing, not the most laid back. She loves her people. She's very interactive, but she's also not one to be like the first to greet you. She's kind of right in the middle. And she's not a dominant one either. She's not one to be bossy. She'll just kind of follow along with the pack. She's very kind of cool with whatever happens. So very sweet girl. She'll probably fall back asleep. Okay, last but not least here, we got Cupid. She is a black and white with a little bit of white coming through here in the front. Got a little bit on the hind paws. Now she doesn't show any signs of salt and pepper. So like I said, Cleo's kind of the only one that has kind of that 50-50 in white and black that doesn't have salt and pepper. So Cupid here has black and white, but she doesn't have salt and pepper, but she's mostly white or mostly black. So very sweet girl. She is one of the bigger ones, so her and Cleo are very similar. She might be a little bit smaller, but not by much. Really love her coloration. Overall, just a very solid looking girl. And she is one of the more outgoing ones. She's very similar. Gosh, I'm blanking on her name. Is it Callie? No, Callie, the one that's more outgoing, that's right behind me, probably chewing on my hoodie. Oh, she's over here. Very similar to her, maybe a touch less as far as interactivity and being out there and playful, but definitely one that has a high confidence level. Tail's always up high, very in tune with her surroundings, and she'll kind of check everything out. Now she loves being held too. You'll set her down, she'll start crying, pick her up, she'll snuggle right in. She's very happy. And just loves being held. So that'll kind of wrap things up for the girls, and we'll wrap it up with the guys here in a second. Okay guys, moving on to the boys. Starting off here with Mr. Cooper. Cooper is the smallest boy. He's the guy, I don't know if you've been following along, he has a little bit of a pearlescent, so kind of a lighter blonde coloration coming through. You can really see it here on his eyebrows. It's kind of cool, cool coloration. But beautiful guy. He's chocolate and white, and just overall a stunning guy. He does have the salt and pepper. Obviously not quite as much white as Cinnamon, so you won't be able to see it as much. But here in the chest area, you'll really see that cinnamon and sugar coming through. You can really see it already. So beautiful guy. Smallest boy in the litter, very sweet guy. I would say energy levels are medium, interactivity's medium. As far as like getting along with litter mates, he does great. He's a follower, not a leader, but a very, very sweet guy. If anything, he's a little bit more leaning towards being a little bit more of a cuddle bug, a little bit more chilled out, easygoing. but kind of right in the middle of everything there. Oftentimes with smaller puppies, with like the smallest in the litter, or smaller puppies in general, he's not the smallest in the litter, but out of the boys, oftentimes I'll see a little bit more energy in general. But for him, I mean, I just see him being very middle of the road. He's not the most outgoing and spontaneous one, although he does have his moments, of course. But yeah, very sweet guy. Moving on, we got Cash. Cash here. The three last guys we're going to talk about today are pretty decent as far as size. They're very solid. All three are pretty heavy compared to the girls. I know Cleo's close to these guys, but the boys, the three boys we'll talk about here, are a little bit more of the heavy nature. So this is Cash here. He is a salt and pepper, black and white, beautiful guy. I love his coloration. The white tip tail, the beautiful blaze in between the eyes. Just a very solid coloration. He's a cuddle bug. He's a big cuddle bug out of the litter. More chill. You can see I just plopped him down. He's like, yep, let me chill out. So, but very easy going. Very kind of more energy, or less energy, I guess. Not more, more, but less energy. More of a cuddle bug. It's very sweet. So phenomenal guy there, and we'll keep on rolling. Okay, so the last black and white we're going to talk about today, this is Comet. He's the biggest as far as the boys go. Just a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier. You can really see his head there. Got the salt and pepper coming through the chest, on the legs, just a little smidge of white on his tail. That'll probably fade out. I mean, you might have one or two hairs sticking out there and you'll probably not be able to see it, but beautiful guy. He's the more spontaneous and outgoing one out of the boys. Definitely more interactive, a little bit more playful. Not necessarily high energy, but higher energy. Comparing to the girls, not necessarily the most spontaneous with the whole litter, but with the boys, he is definitely a little bit more leaning towards that. And then we got Charlie up front here. Charlie is also one of the more outgoing and spontaneous guys. See if he'll stand up for us, or I might just pick him up here. Come here, bud. Yeah, there you are. Then he is a chocolate and white, salt and pepper. You can see the salt and pepper come through the legs, chest area, on the nose. Just overall a beautiful guy. Now he stacks up pretty similar to Comet as far as size, and his spontaneous and outgoing personality is very similar. He's not super playful or super energetic, but he's definitely more outgoing, a little bit more spontaneous, or leaning towards that. So just a beautiful litter in general, guys. If anyone has any questions, of course, let me know, but really excited for Rio and his future here at Family Porties. I mean, he's stunning. He's amazing. His temperament's phenomenal, and he just has that really middle of the road personality where if we have a girl that ends up being a little bit lower energy, he'll bring it up a little bit. If we have a girl that has a little bit of a higher energy, he'll bring it down a little bit. So really kind of has a nice balancing effect there for him. And he's stunning. His coloration is amazing. Everything about him. I mean, I'm very excited. It's sad to see Porter go, but at the same time, I'm glad we found Rio, and really excited for that. So first litter out of Rio. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My number is 330-621-3917. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.